Who you work with matters here on the A-List. Greetings to all. I am so excited to share with you an interview with one of my favorite clients of all times. I know I'm not supposed to have favorites, but Holly and I met. She messaged me on Facebook and she was like, hey, I see a house that you have for sale. I think I want to buy one. Then she ghosted me for a little while, but that's okay because that's what happens. Then I remember I was at the movies. I turned off my phone. When I came out of the movies, I turned it back on and it was a bunch of messages from Holly being like, so I really researched you and I really think that we are the same and I need you to help me buy a house. Holly and I actually found out that we have the same heart, we have the same soul, and her work that she does through her career as a lawyer in social work is pretty much the same concept that I have for my job as a realtor. Those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive. It's really important for you to know that if you think that homeownership is not possible, Holly is the poster child for why it definitely could be. I'm gonna let her explain it because it's her life and she's really extremely articulate and super cute too. So let's jump into our interview with my girl, Holly Mirabella. Okay, so I'm here with Holly, who's one of my favorite clients, one of my favorite people. Wow. I know, it's so exciting. You and I got connected through Facebook Messenger, which is a beautiful place. But when you started messaging me, and you actually messaged me about one of the houses I had for sale, and then we decided later that we would buy a different house. But tell me kind of about your story. Right now you have like a super fancy job. I'm so honored. You do, it's cool.
So I am the policy manager for a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. And so what that means is I help pass laws that reduce poverty across the state. So I wouldn't say it's fancy, but it's very rewarding.
And you're a lawyer.
Yes, I am a lawyer and a social worker.
Lawyer, social worker. She's pretty much a great person.
Wow.
On paper.
Thanks.
You and I kind of connected because of, I like to help people who don't think homeownership is a possibility. Tell me more about your experience with your job and also your experience personally with, the possibilities of being a homeowner.
So part of the reason why I do the work that I do is I know what it's like to grow up with financial challenges. Mm-hmm. And I never ever thought that I would be a homeowner. Right. It was, it's almost like an identity thing. Like people like me don't buy homes. And mm-hmm. I reached out to you on Facebook Messenger because I saw this really cute house that you had listed through Facebook and I really wanted it and I was super excited about it. And I ended up hesitating. I didn't think I was ready. Part of it was that identity mm-hmm. that I didn't think I was ready.
Yeah.
And
limiting beliefs.
Yeah. And then the universe came in and forced me to buy a house.
Well, no, there is a huge grant program that just kind of opened up and
mm-hmm.
was perfect for you. And one of your friends too, who also bought a house using the same grant program, like Maryland Mortgage Program, is really, I think, dedicated to helping people who just don't have the liquid capital.
Right. So, I didn't get a big, chunk of money from my parents or anything. Love my parents. They're awesome.
Hey, they're great.
Love you, Mom and Dad. But they did, they just didn't have the means to sort of help me with my down payment. Right. So Maryland did.
Yeah. So I know that you hesitated. And I have a lot of clients who call me, they message me, they're really excited. And then I say, okay, here's the information to get pre-approved. And that's where I lose them. Yes. What was it that made you hesitate?
It was still being stuck in that place of thinking that I wasn't ready mm-hmm. and thinking that I didn't have what it takes to actually buy a house. I think a lot of it was, just me having misconceptions mm-hmm. about what it would take to do a down payment mm-hmm. and, afford the monthly payments. And then, a couple months go by, I learn more about the program. You and I get to, talk more. And I realized that it's actually cheaper than the apartment that I was living in.
Yeah, so. The apartment that was getting broken into,
multiple times.
Yeah. And how many houses did we look at?
One.
I
love my house.
It's awesome. Her house is
so pretty.
Gorgeous.
It is beautiful. It is renovated. It is everything. I mean, it's huge too. And then you have a yard, and you have a garage.
Parking
pad. I mean, she has everything.
It's amazing.
It's kind of awesome. Specifically me working as your realtor, what experiences did you have that were positive? What was something that I did that you didn't expect? Or, I mean, what did you like about working with me?
Well, I think my favorite thing about working with you is that I'm a single woman, and I did this completely by myself. And it was really awesome working with another woman who also treated me with respect. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone in to buy a car or into, an auto repair shop, and I've gotten ripped off, or I've gotten disrespected, or just not really treated with dignity. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And I had
cute. You want to buy a house?
yeah, good for you, sweetie. And I had done years of research in terms of what
I found out later. I was like, I would be saying something, you're like, yes, I know. All right, well.
So I was ready.
You need me here?
I'll just be over here. So I was ready to buy a house. And I felt like you treated me like an adult, and you treated me with respect and dignity, and I knew that you were being honest with me. I knew that I could trust you. You just have a really good rapport with your clients, or at least I felt that way. And I think that made a really major difference in my buying experience.
Also, we 24 hours a day.
Yeah, gifts, memes.
All kinds of foolishness.
Yes, true story. True story. Yeah, right now I have a 3-bedroom, 1,400 square foot home.
Basement.
With a basement that's partially finished. And I'm
waterproofing system.
Yeah.
Totally renovated kitchen. Beautiful porch. I got it.
And I'm paying for like a fancy 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
That's my mortgage.
Yay. You did it. Yay.
Go team. Well, okay, I have to say, when you gave me
the sign?
I'm gonna cry.
Okay, look up to the light. Go.
So she gave me a sign with my last name on it with the address. And I know that's like a pretty common gift, but when I opened it and I saw my last name, and it was the first time I owned something, and my last name as like a single woman tied to a home, it was the coolest thing ever. And so I cried hysterically. The sellers cried. I think the only person that didn't cry was like the title dude. He was just like, get me out of here. But it was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, Holly, we almost managed to get through a conversation without crying. That almost never happens. We usually just look at each other and start sobbing because we think about how far we came together and how awesome what she really did. When you think about her life, how much of an accomplishment she really pulled off. Join us next week here on the A-List.